Concordia University presents A Guide to Purpose and Passion. Coming up, architecture is a consuming career, but we'll see how one young student plans to balance her passions and not forfeit. Need some career advice? Then stay tuned for Karen's how-tos. How to make it as a female DJ and not sell out. Some dream to sing, some dream to dance. Jillian Roper's passion is to sing and dance in drag. And Alexandra Toteta spills her fears of her future in the workforce.
Hi, welcome to A Guide to Purpose and Passion.
I'm Karen Fournier.
And I'm Ali Toteta.
Today we're answering Nagel's question, why do people love their jobs?
Now that we're about to graduate, all we can think about is finding a job and our future careers.
But we can't always foresee the obstacles we're going to encounter.
Luckily, Geraldine Zabarashchuk spoke to an architecture student who's trying to find the perfect balance between her career and her life. Let's take a look.
Author Harvey Mackay said, "Do something you love and you'll never work a day in your life." Unfortunately, not everyone is so lucky. Choosing a career you're passionate about can be a challenge, but McGill architecture student Eliza Costa is up for it. She knows she's on the right track.
I'm having fun, I'm creating, I'm building things, I get to be on the computer, I get to be on site, we get to be constantly just kind of doing hands-on stuff. It's very part of a team also, so those kind of interactions just make for a great day.
Eliza is finishing up her undergrad and working on her final projects.
So you can kind of see here, you've got those, in Place des Arts Metro, you have these very particular, unique walls that they've got. And here's where the metros would kind of come around, and you've got this big opening here. So my design sort of takes up this whole opening, and I've created sort of a stage-like area in the middle here. And so this space could be used either for performances or for exhibition space.
She's applied to graduate schools and is also waiting to hear.
It's called a professional degree. So right now we just did an undergrad in architecture. The master's that is your professional degree. Without that, you cannot write your architecture exams and become an architect.
Costa believes that in life, loving her chosen career isn't enough, and that balance is really the key to continually enjoying and appreciating her passion for architecture.
You can do both. I wouldn't mind taking a year or two off when you first start having kids, but then you can go to work, and you can have kids, and you can have a family. It's just a matter of balancing your life.
Although 80% of the people in her program are women, in the field that number is virtually reversed. So Costa and her female classmates look up towards other female architects who have been able to achieve that balance.
The girls in our program, I know we always try to strive to find female role models. We can kind of be okay, you know what? She's a very successful architect. It's a female, and she's got kids, and she's married and has a happy home life. So we're just okay, it can happen.
One of those professors is Anne-Marie Adams.
I'm honored that she thinks that, and I'm not sure that I have found a balance. I feel pretty out of balance every day.
Adams also has a passion for her job and says staying away, even after she had children, was never an option.
My husband took the second half of my maternity leave, and I was just dying to get back to work.
Adams says the key to her success and sanity has been her support system.
There have been 4 really key people who have helped me, and that is I have a fantastic husband who does way more than 50% of family responsibilities. And when the kids were young, I had a really fantastic babysitter, who could stay late, who could be there when they were sick, who I could just count on her for anything. And then through the years, I've had really good teaching assistants and research assistants.
For both these women, finding their passions came easily. Adams continues to love her work.
I have no regrets at all about choosing architecture as my career.
And Costa hopes to do the same.
For the next 20 years, I'm definitely, if I could stay in this field and try and find some exciting firms, I'll be so happy and, definitely excited that I'm doing something that I love for a job.
For a guide to purpose and passion, I'm Geraldine Zabaraszczuk.
Working 9 to 5, what a way to make a living, barely getting by. It's all taking and no giving. They just use
At some point, we all feel unhappy with our jobs, but there's no guarantee that you'll be happier looking elsewhere. So I've put together a list of the most common problems and how to fix them. The number one problem is being overloaded. What you need to do is prioritize your work. Most of us feel overloaded because we waste too much time doing the small, unimportant tasks. So you need to figure out what's at the bottom of a priority list and get that done first. And the number two thing you can do is get organized. For example, stop checking your email every 5 seconds and instead check it once every hour or twice a day. What you need to do is set up a routine. The number two problem is feeling burned out. And this might seem counterintuitive, but what you need to do is take on new tasks or responsibilities so you can boost your enthusiasm. And don't forget to take care of yourself. You still need to eat well, sleep well, and exercise. Number three is feeling unappreciated. You can ask your boss for comments, but be careful, he might give you criticism also. And if you're feeling really desperate, you can compliment your coworkers and maybe they'll return the favor. But be careful, guys, no sexual harassment. Number four, our last problem, but it's a huge one, it's hard to solve. You dislike your boss. Just try to be polite, suggest different ways of working, but other than that, there's not much you can do. Now, if you dislike your coworker, though, try to avoid them and be polite, but direct.
Karen, it's a whole lot easier to teach people how to love their job than to actually put it into practice.
I think the one thing I would never compromise is my integrity.
Well, actually, Kim Feely spoke to 2 female DJs who would just not do that, compromise their integrity for their job.
I bet she asked them why they like their job.
Kilojoule is one of Montreal's most prominent female DJs. Music has always been a part of this classically trained pianist's life.
Initially, when I started DJing and when I started practicing, I really wasn't in it. I wasn't thinking along the lines of a career. So to me, it was 100% a hobby and something I loved to do. At a certain point, I realized that, wow, I could actually make money doing this.
Like Kilojoule, DJ Minnie is well known on the Montreal music scene. But music only became her life when she was 18.
I started working at a club during the day, and the owners noticed that I had much interest in the music, so eventually they gave me the keys and they bought me a few records, and they were like, if you wanna get into this, you have an ear, you're always paying attention to music, so here's the keys and here's a few records, and get yourself started, and I did.
Both women have found success due to their talent and hard work. But Kilojoule doesn't think all women have held themselves up to this same standard.
There are some very respectable females in the scene. There are also a lot of less respectable females in the scene who, in my opinion, don't represent women as they should be. Certain DJs who DJ topless or in their bikinis and are less about the skill and more about the sexiness factor.
Minnie understands that a DJ's image is key to their success. She appreciates new ideas and unique styles, within reason.
You need something like this too. It's interesting when there's something added to a concept of a night, where it's not only the music. So, it's very interesting to see where things are going. I just hope people don't, you're right, forget that it's kind of the music that's still important.
Both DJs agree that the music business is constantly changing, but Minnie and Kilojoule have learned to adapt. They continue to acquire and develop individual skills so that they can keep doing what they love.
Definitely being in the music, maybe different sphere, we'll see where it goes, but it's definitely part of me big time now, so I couldn't just change. Stop making music and do something else, it wouldn't happen.
I am always pushing to strive for something bigger, and I don't know if that's just my own personal, taste and my personality, but I'm very hard on myself. I'm definitely a perfectionist, and you know, I don't know if I'll ever be completely satisfied, but as I look back now, I'm very happy with what I've done up until this point.
For a guide to purpose and passion, I'm Kimberly Feely.
In hard economic times, employers have to sift through hundreds of CVs for sometimes a single job opening. So here are a few tips to help yours stand out. When writing your CV, keep it simple. Don't list irrelevant qualifications or skills, and always keep it under 2 pages. It's also good form to use bold for headings, stick to one font type, and leave white space on the page. Now, this is crucial. Never give in a CV without a cover letter, and keep it simple. You want to make every word count. The number one mistake people make is not addressing it to the right person, so do your research. In all, your letter should have 3 or 4 paragraphs. Keep it to 1 page. You're not writing your autobiography. Try to keep the employer's interest in the first graph, and then go on to write about why you want this particular job and what assets you've got to offer. Never just repeat what you said in your CV, and use examples to illustrate your points. When you're done, ask for an interview in your last graph and sign it. Finally, if you're creating a portfolio, it's good to have a digital version, whether on a CD or online. Always use easy-to-open formats, and again, the goal here is clarity and focus. Keep in mind that the portfolio is where you have a chance to show off your personality. If you follow all these tips, then you should be okay, and no spelling mistakes, of course. You know, Allie, you really have to make an effort to make yourself look pretty when you have a job interview.
I know, Karen. I have no problem with that. I love playing dress up.
Some people go to great lengths, though, to make themselves over.
Oh, I know. Just like that woman that Fabietta interviewed.
That's just your cat muscle. Oh, sounds like it's time for the oral sex exercises. Oh, we better get those condoms on. Other side, isn't that nice? Banana, maybe? Chocolate. Okay. And now I want you to reach right up, grab that. Phallus to the sky and deep throat it. Nice. Okay, the advanced mode for this exercise is to lick the balls. So let's all try that. Silicone ones are always shaved. Okay. Time for some lady lickers, some ladies in the crowd. So let's bend those knees and these are best done with enthusiasm. Good. All right then. So let's reach right up. I'm here, I'm queer, and this is my rear. Okay.
So my name's Jillian Roper, and I'm a systems analyst, and by day, drag king by night. I dress up as a man, and I go on stage, and I lip sync, and I have a great time. The first time I dressed in drag was when I was living in Ireland, where I actually consciously thought, I want to go out dressed as a guy. And I'd seen a couple of drag kings in Dublin who were amazing. So yeah, I got inspired in Dublin. I went out and drag a couple times, but more as being in the audience and partaking. I really got off on the fact that people didn't recognize me at all. I don't know, for me, once I started lip syncing as Ian, then Ian's character started to develop more. That I did some MC sketches, and again, it's like my voice, and I'm dressed up as a guy, and I was pretending to be Ian. And that's where I really developed that Ian is gay. Like he's queer, bisexual, whatever. That's what I wanted him to be. For me now, when I develop numbers, I'll hear a song, or it's a song from when I was younger. Like I used to watch a lot of Monty Python or Spinal Tap, those kind of spoof rockumentaries, and come up with an idea and go to the group, see if anyone else wants to be involved in the idea, and then often it's like brainstorming with other people, and yeah, you go with an idea and then you just develop it. Women will come up to me, like queer women, and they'll grab my crotch because they're like, oh, what is it? Because I wear a packer. But it's like, it's kind of a shock because I may be wearing a packer, but when they grab me there, it's like they're grabbing me because like there's something, my body is still underneath the packers. I don't think I would go on stage as Jillian and lip sync and dance and goof around. So that's it.
So for some reason, 3 years ago, I decided to go to journalism school. For anyone who knows me, this seemed completely odd. Well, number one, I don't write. In the past 3 years, I've written one measly CD spin, and only because I was forced to do so by a teacher. I don't even think that I listened to the CD. Number two, I don't read, and I mean, I don't read. Like, I like maps and graphs and pictures, and I like words on their own, but not when they're strung together in a sentence, like, reading. And last but not least, well, you'll never catch me dead with a newspaper in my hands. Like, the feeling alone just makes me feel completely dirty. Sorry, Karen. So, all this talk about passions has really made me rethink my university experience. What was I thinking? Why didn't I do anything that I was passionate about? Donc, les amis, vous demandez sûrement à quoi j'aurais dû dédier ma vie. La verità è che non c'è niente che mi piace più delle lingue. I even keep dictionaries in my bathroom as reading material, such as these right here. Wo hui sho, ing u, fa u, idali u, he, shibanya u. Wo de hanyu, hen buhao. En effet, j'ai pensé devenir traductrice et en parlant à quelques traducteurs, on m'a informé des caractéristiques nécessaires pour réussir dans ce domaine. Primero, tienes que dominar tu lengua materna y también las lenguas en las cuales quieres traducir. Okay, I think I got that. E secondo, devi imparare ad accettare il rigetto. Non devi arrabbiarti ogni volta che qualcuno dica che quello che hai fatto non è perfetto. So, I'm supposed to sit down and take it like a man and let people insult my work? Pretty sure I've been doing that for the past 3 years and I didn't like it all that much. En plus, j'ai toujours pensé aux traducteurs comme étant des ermites cachés dans un sous-sol derrière des montagnes de dictionnaires et de grammaire, sans jamais pouvoir ni vouloir sortir de leur tanière. Bueno, creo que soy yo la sonsa porque hace casi 3 semanas que trato de encontrar un traductor para que yo pueda hacer una entrevista con él, pero nadie tiene tiempo de hablar conmigo. Però ho parlato con una freelancer la settimana scorsa e lei mi ha detto che è un lavoro abbastanza divertente, ma che tradurre merda inutile diventa molto noioso. But she did tell me that money can be decent, but that it's also unstable. Great. That's just what I need. Another job with instability. The past 3 years spent running around after people, bending my schedule to suit them, just wasn't enough instability for me. Entonces, sabemos que 1. J'ai un bac inutile en journalisme. Woo. The R, well, hen I, UN, but clearly I don't have the discipline to become a translator. And, well, hen I chen, and I'm pretty sure translators aren't making it rain. I guess it's time for early retirement. As a wise man once told me, floating around doing nothing isn't considered a job. Well, maybe I should go see a counselor or something. Nah, I'm too old for that. It's too late for me. Hey, Karen, any luck on SugarDaddyMeet.com?
No, unfortunately, nobody answered.
Ugh, what does that mean? We're gonna have to find jobs?
Yeah.
Ugh.
For a guide to purpose and passion, I'm Taryn Fanny.
And I'm Alex Tatum. Bye, Jen!
My dream job would be to own a small restaurant.
My dream job would be to have my own travel show so I could go around the world and show people the places that I like to visit.
My dream job is chocolate taster. No, but for real, my dream job, honestly, my dream job is to be either a documentary filmmaker or a sports journalist.
Sleep makes me very, very happy.
Well, my dream is to open my own multi-platform journalism company, and I'd like to have a job that allows me to travel a lot. That would be cool.
My dream job would be to become a wedding planner.
What are you passionate about?
Passionate about politics and music.